Innovation comes from the Latin word innovus, which means to renew in English. Innovation is essentially required in this competitive world of business, and it is also important because organizations may access other companies in one of two ways, which are to either pursue price leadership or build a different strategy. Many startup companies get their advantage by creating unique product or service. Companies that seek price leadership must establish more innovation and high efficiency procedure to ensure their long-term competitiveness. Companies that want to differentiate themselves from their competitor have to use innovation to establish more distinctive, different traits than others.
The firm, Steve Jobs and their partner create Apple Computer Company on 1 April 1976 to build in Los Angeles, California, and sell Wozniak Apple personal computer. Next is Apple business strategy is centered on consumer-centric gadget and innovation. Next, the Apple mission is to bring the best user experience to its customers through its innovation hardware, software, and service. Lastly, the iPhone service, Mac, iPad, wearable, home, and accessory units are the company key commercial sector.
This is Adam bin Umar Rauf, and I will talk about the idea. The iPhone debuted in 2007 because all of the fanfare associated with such a big Steve Jobs event. Emphasizing its user interface and elegant design are important sales factors. They already realized also that iPhone revolutionized the mobile phone industry, the web industry, and society in general. However, the iPhone was not particularly groundbreaking in terms of technology. Its technology and design were inspired by the iPod, which was already revolutionizing for music streaming business at the time. Earlier, phone and tablet devices like Apple or Newton include touchscreen Nokia phone with the highest specification feature larger storage, higher resolution, and quicker smartphone penetration. The iPhone became revolutionary because its creator created a full-fledged handheld computer that could transmit information and access the internet rather than a cell phone, including some added functionality. Since last year, the question of whether Apple is still inventive has been highly continuous. Apple capability for innovate in the post-Steve Jobs era have been questioned by supporters of rival mobile operating system by Android, as well as dubious Wall Street analysis. Such recommendations are bound to irritate Apple loyalists. The preserving distinction does not encompass all aspects of innovation. It's undoubtedly overdone, but it's surely abused. Although it's surprising that it shouldn't come up more often in this setting, given how well it matched current discussion about Apple innovation dilemma. As things are, Apple detractors are supporters mainly talk over one another. The first element is that of revolutionary breakthrough, while the latter rejoice inside the continuous stream of long-term one. That's all.
Technology. Since the supplanted many gadgets, the iPhone got integrated into our lifestyle. Individuals use an iPhone instead of a personal communicator with a calendar and message. iPhone accomplished with a camera is maybe the clearest evidence of its transformative ability. According with a camera and image product association, 109 million pocket camera were also in 2010. However, only 9 million camera with built-in lens were also in 2018. The most recent figure we are available to complete knowledge is collected. Apple continued to refine their iPhone layout and deliver new version to the market using increase of functional and improve the feature that provided interesting opportunities. As with any technology breakthrough, because of some of those significant advancement, iPhone have become a highly sought after a cell phone brands. It's simple to open up the map and use an iPhone to go any location nowadays. This useful navigation tools was only accessible on iPhone starting with the second generation device, the iPhone 3G, which was released in 2008. The built-in GPS has a functional called location service that made navigation and mapping easier. This GPS chip operated in a concert with a cellular tower and Wi-Fi networks to quickly and efficiently compute the phone location. For the Touch ID, a biometric identification fingerprint sensor was initially launched on the iPhone 5s model in 2030. Only 4 iPhone models will support the original version of a Touch ID: the iPhone 5s, iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus, and iPhone SE. The second generation Touch ID was utilized from the iPhone 6s until the 2020 iPhone SE. Touch ID may also be used to easily the securely automatic purchase made on App Store and iTunes Store. Touch ID lets you add up to 5 distinct fingerprints, including someone else beside the owner in emergency situations.
Okay, now I would like to explain about the people. In 2017, Apple launched a new product called iPhone X with a new feature called Face ID, which is a facial recognition security system. It is a new security system that was made as a successor to the previous fingerprint sensor. The innovator of the innovation on the iPhone is Neil McKinnon, senior optical engineer who is working at Apple since 2012. Neil McKinnon created a 3D facial recognition system that relies on Apple TrueDepth camera system, which will project an infrared beam to make your face curve and wrinkle. In early 1960, the idea of a facial recognition system was found by Helen Chan Wolf, Woody Bledsoe, and Charles Bison, where they tried to develop the system into the computer. But the idea was not very successful due to the lack of technology in the era. Since then, the facial recognition system was developed decades by decades till 2017, when the iPhone X was introduced with Face ID. During the early stage of the pandemic, many people complained that they cannot unlock their iPhone while using the face mask. Apple then launched iOS 15.4, where user can use the Face ID even when wearing their face mask. The US Patent and Trademark Office was also involved in this innovation, where they granted Apple Incorporation new patent where it improved the TrueDepth camera that was used for the 3D mapping.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Khairul. Okay, now my part is the process. First, the generation stage is where new idea begin. Apple good excellent example of a business that promoted the production of innovation idea by striking a balance between enjoyment and need. Next is experiment. The experiment stage investigate the practicality of concept for certain organization within a specific time period. Apple executive in innovation think in terms of platform and pipelines and the continuous push and speed of invention. Last, to make such breakthrough, the Apple depend on a system based on function knowledge.
In conclusion, Apple is one of the most successful innovative companies in the world. Apple is unconcerned about being the first. Instead, Apple seeks to raise the bar of innovation through improved product capabilities and having their function across many devices. There are many excellent messenger application and file sharing options, and yet not of them compared to iMessage and AirDrop. Apple create an ecosystem from its consumer, and most people call it the Apple ecosystem, which is launching high quality product that perfectly match each other. Other companies should take Apple as an example of how to develop an innovation in their product, which is to take their innovation to another level to raise the capabilities of their product.